you spent years trying to better yourself and there's still a problem, it's not your fault, it's theirs. Hello, my name is Danica Stevie Luck, and this video is about mindset change, how to deal with narcissists, how to live with them, the power in belief, and other things. How to act around narcissists, bullies, and abusers. So, I know a little bit about this one. I have had many narcissists in my lifetime. I got my fries with me, I got my drink that's already drunken, I got my ranch. We about to get into this. So, where'd my notebook go? If it is a family member that is treating you bad and they have tendencies of a narcissist, they're a narcissist. You don't gotta be like, oh, well, I don't want to self-diagnose or diagnose them. It is easier to diagnose them in your brain to understand their problems than to not and try to be like, oh, well, they have this problem, but I don't want to say they're a narcissist because they might not be. Doing that will lead you into more confusion. So just label them as something and move on, bro. So with me, I've lived with narcissists and people that would just be self-centered. And what you do, if you've already yelled back when they yell at you, if you've already lost your temper when they lost their temper with you, if you've already done all this and you feel drained, don't do anything. Now, the problem with people that can't do that, they have a problem with confidence and thinking, oh, well, it just hurts because they're supposed to love me and they used to put me on a pedestal and now they don't. I understand that. I'm not someone that can just toss away whatever words this narcissist says to me. It hurts. And I've been dealing with it since childhood. And I've dealt with the death of people without them dying. If that makes sense. Like, they change and you have to deal with it like they died. It's trauma. It's traumatic. And it's a different type of trauma when you have to deal with the death of someone that hasn't died. But through childhood, when I was a kid, I would be like, what did I do wrong? And I would go through so many different mental upgrades, and I would give myself so much clarity and understand myself so much to the point I was so self-aware. When I was doing something bad, I'd understand it was bad before I even did it. And then I would be like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I will try again. And doing that, I only started trying to better myself because I thought that they're older than me, they know more, and they're better than me because their age. That just made sense to me. So I was like, okay, they're doing everything right because they're older than me. They're telling me I'm doing something wrong and they're treating me bad. So there has to be, they're treating me bad because it's a punishment because I'm doing something wrong. So I would go on years bettering myself to the point where I became so aware and so mature and so smart. And I've had people even tell me this. And then I finally looked at them and I realized it has never been me. Even when I did make mistakes, I changed them, and yet they're still treating me this way. And I was like, there has to be something wrong with me, actually. So then I would go on again and try to find something that wasn't there until I realized, after a huge breakdown, there was nothing that I could have done, no person that I could become to make them happy, because they're unhappy with themselves. You need to go through, if not already, a self-awareness thing and help for yourself to understand where you are at in this position and what you do to make it worse and what you do to make them lash out. Because it can be something that you're genuinely doing, and it could be something that's simple, any human would do, that makes them lash out. There's still stuff that you need to blame yourself and understand that, and there's still stuff that you need to understand that you're not doing anything wrong, but it still makes them upset, because then you realize that there are things that you do that any human being would, and it still makes them mad, and that will teach you how crazy they are. Or what you can, say if they're a narcissist or not. I will give you examples in a minute, but after so much time bettering myself, I realized that it was just them. And that's what you need to do. Understand yourself, understand where you are in the situation, and have clarity and confirmation that it's not you. Because you can say it's not you all you want, but if you genuinely don't know if it's not you, it'll not take you anywhere. You'll become as crazy as them, trying to tell yourself that it's not you, if you don't even know where you guys are in this situation. Identify the problem, understand what they're doing, and understand when they're wrong and when you are. And instead of lashing out, again, the problem that people have is thinking, oh, well, they're doing this and it's hurting me. I just don't know, like, if I'll have the confidence to do it. It's just they're supposed to love me, and that's what hurts. It hurts. Everybody, even me. And I'm over here preaching to be confident. It hurts. But what you're doing and what I'm doing, the difference is that you were reminiscing on the past and the thought that they're supposed to love you. I think that, and then I move on. I'm like, yeah, they are. And then you move on. You think, okay, but they're not, though. They put you on a pedestal then? That was then. Stop being in the past. Oh, but I'm just saying because it's true. It is true. And you're allowed to say it. But to think it and to reminisce on it and to like let it overpower the truth, that was then. And even if it's, oh, but they treat me like royalty this second and then treat me bad this second. Okay, so if you don't like it, get away from them. Break up with them. Stop being around them. If you don't like it, do that. If you have the power to, do it. With me, and with a lot of people, you can't. You can't leave them. You can't separate yourself from them. But you can at some degree. I stay in my room. I stay in my space. Sometimes they come in and do stuff that I don't want them to, like scream or cuss, and I'm just like, and that's just confirmation over and over again that they are doing something wrong each time. That's confirmation over and over again why I'm even doing this, why I'm trying to leave, why I'm trying to say affirmations every day, make myself feel better. Anytime something bad happens, it's confirmation of what you're supposed to do and why you're doing it. Remind yourself why you started when you feel like you can't do it anymore, or you're not trying to do whatever you were trying to accomplish in the first place. Instead of being like, why are they treating me this way? Use it as a sign. Say they're a bad person. Even if it's family, if it's your brother, if it's your sister, your significant other, your dad, your mom, it sucks. And it's going to leave trauma. So don't let it be in your brain, like everywhere. Let it just be in the one part of your brain where it traumatizes you, because it's going to hurt you. So why let it hurt every other area in your life and every other area in your brain? It's gonna be there anyways. Why are you giving attention to it? They don't love you the way that you want to be loved, so leave. And a lot of people aren't going to leave. So here's another option. Don't react. Or give them a reaction that they don't want, or give them a reaction that they do want. Someone told me within like the story or whatever that this person would want to argue with them. And they did. They wanted to argue with them. They would do anything, say anything, whatever it was that they shouldn't have said, they would say. Because they wanted them to argue, and they'd argue back until they realized if they just say, you're right, I am a this word, I am a this word, I did do that. And I have even done that. If you just say, yeah, you're right, and not in a, you're right, I am, just agree with them. And that will be like a calmness to them, and they're just like, what am I supposed to say now? They're agreeing with me. The argument is over. And then they switch up and they're like, oh, do you want some cupcakes? I'm making cupcakes. Do you want some eggs? I'm making eggs. It's like they will change because they aren't thinking about you. They don't care about you. They only care about you when they can hurt you, and when they can't, they're just like, okay, what else can I do? Or you can give them a reaction they don't want. You can ignore them, and they'll scream even more, or they might just stop because they're bored of you. Let them be bored. Let them have that slight satisfaction, but being uncomfortable that you're not giving them the reaction that they want. Like the person that I'm talking about, they tell me about something negative, and I'm just like, or I'm on my phone, and then they end up leaving awkwardly. Or when someone's talking bad about someone, you can be like, okay, stop. Just say, okay, stop, or shut up. You can be like, oh, I don't want to hear their mouth. I don't want to hear them being mad or getting upset or screaming at me. Don't expect them to. And then it won't happen. And if it does, react in the way that you see fits, or in the way that I'm telling you. You just test it out. Test out this, test out that. And if it keeps happening and you are stuck with this person, choosing to be stuck with this person, that's just what you're going to have to deal with. And if you're genuinely stuck, like a lot of people, you create your own room. You create your own space. And if they barge into it, just don't react. Don't feel anything. Just be like, oh my gosh. But genuinely become numb to them. And I know you shouldn't have to do that, and I know that's bad, and they're taking their character away from you, but let them. And then come back to you, and always do affirmations after they've done something bad. Do affirmations. Say, I am not this person that I'm becoming for them. Don't let yourself, I'm not going to let myself become this person for everybody else, because what you do when you become numb to this person, you become numb to other people, and that will affect genuine relationships that you have. And people are going to genuinely want to love you, and you won't let them, because your brain is set to don't react, don't say anything, don't do anything. I've learned to not look at people in their eyes and to ignore them. And if I don't hear them, I shouldn't look at them when I realize that they're talking to me, because this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. I shouldn't sit in that chair because for some reason something happened to it and someone's gonna yell at me. I say that in my brain because of the things that I've learned. I think, just don't talk. And that is not good for people that genuinely want to be your friend. Do not push away people that are good to you. Remind yourself that you only do it to this person. Don't do it to yourself, and don't do it to anybody else. Because your brain will see that and do it as if you're trying to become this new personality, like you're trying to be nonchalant or something. Don't allow your brain to be like that with other people and to you. Don't let it sink into other relationships that you have with other people. With me, I felt like after childhood and screaming back and throwing temper tantrums and genuinely not knowing what to do, doing this with my hands and just being trying to comfort myself, because I don't think people understood what I was going through. And when I would talk about it, I was just tossed like I didn't matter. The middle child syndrome, but it's not like a normal thing that every middle child goes through. That's neglect. It's not cute. It's not it's just your middle child. No, it's neglect. So that's what was kind of happening, and learning that screaming doesn't help, yelling back doesn't help, sharing your opinion on whatever happened, trying to communicate doesn't help, trying to be nice, telling them you're sorry does not help. They don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care what you have to say until they do, and then you learn not to talk, and then they get mad at you when you don't talk. It's what do you want me to do? I'll tell you, oh, I want to dye my hair, and then you're like, well, everybody does. And then you get mad at me when I don't talk anymore. What kind of reaction is that? I'm trying to have a conversation with you. You get weird when I talk to you, and then you get weird when I don't talk. Do you know how confusing that is? And I'm still dealing with that confusion to this day, but something that will help is to not scream, not to do this, not to do that. If you've done it so many times and you want change, you have to change. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Try something else. And something that works for me, well, it doesn't completely stop the interactions that I have with these people, but it does help me with my mental and my clarity and my health within mind and body, is that everyone's equal to each other, but when it comes to certain things, I don't know how to use words, because no one's better than each other, but to simplify it, I'm here and they're here. Whatever they say to me, whatever they think that I am not. If someone's hurting me, why would I let them hurt me? If it's hurting me, then I am not that person that they're telling me I am. If I'm okay, and I agree, then I am that person. I am that person. I receive those words as if I am that person. Compliments. Why are you rejecting a compliment? Because you don't believe that you are. You don't believe that you're beautiful. If you receive a compliment and you teach yourself to, your brain will receive it as you're beautiful. It's not, oh, someone said you're beautiful. Your brain will think, oh, you're beautiful. the words that you say to yourself, the words that you say to other people, you become that. Your brain sees, when you look in the mirror and you say, oh, I'm ugly, your brain will think you're ugly. Not that you're saying it, not that it's bad that you're saying it. It receives it as you are ugly. So when people say that you're a bad person or you're this, you are the narcissist. They project. Narcissists will tell you you're a narcissist. Or narcissists will be like, narcissists don't know they're narcissists, so I'm not a narcissist. Yes, you are. So when they tell you that you're this or that, it makes you uncomfortable. That's your soul telling you that you're not that. Or it's your soul telling you you are becoming that a little bit. You need to step back and become the person you are instead. Sometimes you do get triggered. Sometimes you get triggered because you are, and you're becoming that, or you think that you're that. And that's what makes you upset, because you're like, I am not that, but I think I am, and I need to stop. That is what your brain is telling you. You need to step back and help yourself. Do mental work that will help you become your true version of yourself. And to help that is not talking back, not saying this, not letting them say that to you. Simply just say, stop yelling. Stop doing this. Now, if you're in a genuine situation where it's physical, this may help and it may not. I'm not going through something like that. I'm going through more of like verbal, narcissistic projection type of like neglectment, like words being thrown at you. Genuine people that will, like, people that are genuinely believing in what they say and will tell you that you're this and you're that. That's what I'm going through. That's what I'm kind of talking about. But some of these might help you guys too. I don't know. You need to understand that their words are just their perception of you. That's how they see you. That is not who you are. And if you think of yourself as this and they're like right here, or whatever you want, whatever they say about you is just a reflection of how they feel about themselves. And I know you've heard it multiple times over and over again, but I genuinely have a reason to it. So a lot of times when I got bullied, they would like, for an example, this didn't happen, they'd throw milk at me, for an example. The next day they'd be like, you threw milk at me. Genuinely, I'm not kidding. They would genuinely say something like that, and I was like, but they will project themselves onto you because they hate themselves. And I said this in another video, my previous one, a little bit better, but people that don't like themselves, they go into a camera and they change their face. They have filters on their camera to where they look completely different. They don't really take pictures. They have problems with the way they look. They'll look at you and say, why are you making that face when you like take photos? Do you think like you're ugly or something? Why don't you take that many photos? Are you insecure? It's like they will project themselves onto you. And it's insane. Like, they are what they say you are. When someone bullied them, they'll say the same thing to you. Because they don't care about you. They'll love somebody because they know that person doesn't see who they are, and they want to become this god to other people. But to you, they know that you know who they are. They're not clueless. They're not stupid. I mean, they are stupid, but they know what they're doing most of the time. They know that they're manipulating you. So instead of being like, oh, they just don't know, they do know. That's why they're loving this person. That's why you're so upset. Oh, they love this person and not me. They're cheating on me. Because they want to become a god to this person because this person doesn't know them. They know you know their faults. They know that you're superior to them. That's why they don't treat you good, because they're treating you like they treat themselves. They know you know their faults. They don't care what you think. Well, they do, but they also don't. So they act as equal or even worse than of what you think of them. But you know that they do. They know you know them. They'll just tell you you don't because they're freaking crazy and they try to manipulate you. Do you believe in crystals? So, I have received many questions like, do you believe in this? Do you believe in that? I came to a realization that, well, it's like basic knowledge that, well, not really, because a lot of people don't know, but I believe that whatever you put power to has power. So if you believe crystals work, they will work. I mean, they do have benefits scientifically. There's always scientific reasons to everything, but there is power to crystals overall scientifically. But if you believe that it has a certain power for love or attraction to money, or green means money, that is what your brain will receive it as. If you see green on a bank, that's money. If you see green on a painting you see and you take it as a sign that money's coming to you, then it will. Whatever you put power into works. And if some of you don't believe it, I have an example. So, we all know that person. If it's not you, then you know someone. You always come across someone, or you're friends with someone that is like, I think they're staring at me. Are they staring at me? Is my hair ugly? They're looking at my hair. I can tell they're judging me. They're judging me. And even if they are, most of the time they're not, and they're just doing whatever. I remember when my sister told me that this person's hand was messed up, and she told me that I laughed at their hand. And she's seen that their reaction was to hide it. And I was like, I didn't even look at that man in his face. I didn't even like acknowledge him, which I know is bad, but it's just, I don't acknowledge anybody. I try to, but I was like, I wouldn't do that. And I would over-explain myself because I was like, you seen me do something that I didn't do, plus you think that I did it intentionally. I could have been thinking about something in my head and laughed. And she was like, maybe you were like staring at his hand. And I was like, I don't even remember what he looked like. And you're over here telling, and I would explain myself because I was like, why would you even think I would do that? Why are you telling me that I would do something that I didn't even do? Like, can your brain not process that maybe I was doing this or maybe I was doing that? And then I realized, like, people's perception will always see what they want. And that is the power of perception. She seen that I did something bad even when I did explain myself. You create power in whatever you think. And that girl that was like, oh, what about my hair? Is a person staring at me? I'd look around and I'm like, even if they are, why do you care? Why are you putting attention to it? Why are you doing that? And then the next second, there would be people genuinely looking at her. So then I was like, you're putting power into this idea and now it's attracting to you. And even if the second people weren't even looking at her, she believes it. So it's true. You believe what you see. That's why when with beliefs, you don't know if they're true. There can be science behind it. There can be this, but your brain will tell you it's true when something works. Like when someone becomes successful, their video pops off. They create another one, knowing that the next one will because they had 4D confirmation that it worked. So they believe it and it keeps happening. When you think, oh, I fell off after that great video, I wonder when's the next time I'm gonna like be able to be good again. People will give you advice and say, you need to act as if you're already famous. What would you post if you had an audience? What would you say? What ideas would you do? You are letting yourself shrink into a space that your brain is not in because of the 4D, like the reality, like the physical, that the 4D has put you in. People did not start out as famous. They used their ideas, believing that they were famous until they got famous. You, on the other hand, are seeing, oh, they got famous because they got famous. And then they started actually showing their emotions and their personality. No, they started with their personality. That's why they got famous. People want authenticity. Act as if you're already famous and you'll get it. Act as if you already have the audience and become the person that you would if you had 10 million followers. How would you act? Power is within the mind, and things become powerful when you believe that they're powerful. And even when there's science behind it, crystals, they have power. Basic, like, just with them alone. I believe in spirituality. I believe in so many different things. Like, energy doesn't die because it's real, and because I put power into it. And it can work because it's negative power and good. It depends on whatever you're doing. You can believe that people are judging you, that person meant it bad, that person stared at this person's hand, which I didn't, but you believe in whatever you see, and you put power into it because you believe it, and it comes true because it's in your head. Plus, It can also happen in the 4D, but that's manifesting, attracting, and with subliminals, you can make your mind believe in certain things, rewire it, a whole bunch of different stuff. But when you think someone has power over you, they do. And once you realize, like, please watch Labyrinth. It is a beautiful movie. The Labyrinth is amazing. And then, what is it? Wrinkle in Time, that talks about confidence and spirituality and a bunch of different stuff, and love. And the Labyrinth talks about power and how to gain it back, and how your mind can trick you into realities that you're not even in, and like roadblocks that aren't even there. But it's a genuine, like, I love the fact that little me loved these movies, because then I rewatch it and I'm like, whoa, this had deep meaning into it. Like, girl, little me was on to something for real. But I heard someone complaining. They were like, I just don't want them to scream at me. I'm just so tired of it. If you don't want it to happen, act as if it's not. Don't put power into the words, and even if they do, act as if they're not. And I know it's not a good thing to normalize ignoring, and to memorize that, oh, they don't like it when I ask them questions, so I'll stop asking questions. You should never let someone take your character away from them. But if you choose to stay with them, and if you have to, do that with them. And again, allow yourself to change for yourself, and allow yourself to be your authentic self for yourself and other people. Because you can over-explain to this person over and over again and realize that you're doing it to other people. Like, you'll be talking to your abuser through the eyes and, like, through other people. Like, this person was talking to me, but they were talking to the other person, and they were explaining themselves as if I questioned them. They would be like, here's your food, I know it's not good, and then they'd be like, but I did do this, but then I also did this, and then this went this, and then I was like, I haven't even said anything. It was just insane what your brain can do and how much power you hold within things. It's important that you understand that nobody has power over you. If you don't believe it, and if you understand that the power is minimal or none. Because I could have let anybody convince me to go to this college or go to here because they were saying it was the right thing to do. You don't initially know what the right thing to do for some people. God does. You can definitely help. You can speak the words that God wants them to hear. You can definitely do that. But overall, you don't really know. You don't see the future. You don't see the past. Unless you have, like, powers or something. But you really don't know for, like, most people. You don't know. Plus, you can help people if they are dealing with narcissists or abusers. You can help them all you want. But it's all up to them to see what's wrong. And it's all up to them to never be able to see. You never know. You can deal with the death of a person mentally or literally because of this problem. I've dealt with the death of many people mentally and myself mentally, and I got myself back, but as a protected version of me. Instead of pushing people, which I do, I try to understand the difference between boundaries and being scared and like pushing people away. There's a huge difference, but it's you can't really see it, and you don't really know what to do in the moment. You just have to figure it out as the days go on. But even I'm figuring it out. Just understand, don't let people take your character away from you, okay? There's this person, she is so pretty. She's so pretty. She gets compliments all the time. People walk up to her and ask her if she wants to date them. And I think she sees it, but she also doesn't, because I would see in pictures, I swear, like, she doesn't really know how to pose, but there's also something behind it to where, like, subconsciously, with you put power into your beliefs. I think that she tries to, like, make herself smaller or to make herself look different because she's so pretty. And it might be because she doesn't think she is as much as, like, people say or I say or how she is. Or it could be because she doesn't want to make anyone be intimidated or feel any negative way towards, because she's had a lot of jealous people because she's so freaking pretty. But I seen the difference between a video of mine and a video of hers, and I was like, there's a clear difference between mindsets. Because there was a video of me and her with our hair done, and I could see that I remember feeling a little nervous, but pretending that I wasn't and saying, you're a queen, you're a boss, you're gonna do this video and you're gonna look good while doing it. And I did it. And I seen the confidence within me, and I don't know what it was, I haven't talked to her about it, but I seen the belief that she had a little bit and how it can manifest into the physical and make people look a certain way or make people feel a certain way. That's why subliminals work. Other than that, but your belief really shows in the physical, whether it's you trying to make yourself smaller, or you don't believe that you're confident, or you won't even give yourself a chance to be confident, or you're insecure or whatever. It can be anything. But other than that, because I grew up thinking that I was like the ugly sister, because I don't know, I was more shy, I was more timid, but then I realized that we went through a lot of the similar things, but I also went through a lot of bad things to where it made myself believe that, and believing in that has affected the way, like, my confidence and the way I talk to people and my brain. And now that I don't believe that, like, I won't allow myself to believe that, it's still it's still, like, in my nervous system a little bit, but I'm working on getting it out, and I'm working on not allowing myself to feel that, and when I do, it becomes smaller because I am rejecting that thought. Believing that, you try to make yourself small, you will become 100 different people, and people will still not like you. And I learned that the hard way, the long way, even though, you know, I'm still young and a lot of people still don't understand this, but you can let them take your character away. Like, when I was a kid and I tried to become a better person because my innocence told me that if they're treating me bad, it's because they're punishing me for doing something bad. They know what's right, I don't. And once I realized that I was just being bullied, I realized, like, I understand things so much better than a lot of people, and that person sees my light in a way that is hard to explain, and they are they are intimidated by it, and they will make you believe that it's your fault because they don't want to believe that it's theirs, or some of them don't. They're so used to the uncomfortability of being in their own mind, and the uncomfortability of being such a bad person and not loving themselves to the point that they choose to be mad and to be bullies to allow themselves to escape from that uncomfortability of not understanding, not allowing themselves to breathe, not allowing themselves to be them, not allowing themselves to love themselves or other people. They hate the way being sad or upset that they did something wrong. And a lot of people won't let themselves feel that because they'll be like, well, I already feel that way all the time. Why would I make myself feel that way? So I'm just going to go smoke. So I'm just going to go drink. I'm just going to go hit somebody. Like, you need to deal with it by yourself. You need to deal with it by yourself. You need to find a way to deal with it by yourself. Now, obviously, some people, this is a whole nother topic, do need certain substances, do need certain things to help them. Like it's like yoga. Some people like really lean on that. Some people really lean on this or that. But with a lot of people, that was never supposed to be the answer, was to lean on something. You just went to it because you're so uncomfortable with the thought that you are a bad person, or you are uncomfortable with the thought that someone is hurting you and you have nowhere to go. Maybe you don't have anywhere to go, but you do have you, and you're the only person that will ever love you as much as you deserve if you allow yourself to. No one will see you the way you see you. No one will understand you as completely as you do. And if you don't even understand yourself and you won't even give yourself the chance to love you, then that is uncomfortable. And that does suck. And you will feel like you need something. But you don't. All you need is you, and you're not giving yourself that. So please take a moment every day or just today and make that change to help yourself. And if you want examples, I'll put them down in the comments. But that's all for today, guys. If you have any video ideas, anything you want me to be specific about in this video, if you need to vent or to talk to anybody, everyone needs someone to talk to sometimes. Comment down, like, and subscribe, guys, for more videos like this. I love you. Goodbye. Something really quick to say. I just looked at the Wizard Liz's Snapchat and I just got inspired a little bit. There was something that was like, prove what to who? F y'all. This is a blessing. No matter what it is, I know it's hard, I know it's bad, and I know there's gonna be times where you don't believe it. Sometimes I don't. Even if it's a lot of times. But you need to come back to, you are learning things that people will never learn. You are learning things that will make you rich. People will pay for your mentoring. People will pay for your enlightenment that you can receive if you let yourself grow from this. If you don't, you'll just become another victim, another this, another that. Grow from this. Allow yourself to be confident with this. Because I just realized, like, when I seen that, I was like, I genuinely believe that. Prove what? To who? And I believe that because of the narcissist. I believe that because of all the times that I had to question myself and try to tell people who I am and try to make them believe, and then I realized people don't care. People don't care. People don't want to hear you. People don't like you. People will not like you. They're jealous, they're weird, they're mad at themselves and you. Take this as a blessing, as alignment. Even if it's a detour, you still believe that it's alignment, that you're still going to your successes. You have to believe hard enough that everything's a blessing. Because I would not be here. I would not be the same person. I don't think I would even strive for anything if I wasn't lost, if I wasn't heartbroken, if things weren't taken from me before in my life. I really don't think I would be strong. I would think life would be boring, actually. I wouldn't believe in myself as much as I do. Things would be handed to me, and I'd be lazy. And when I compare myself to others, I'm like, I wish I had that. Why do they deserve that? I deserve what is coming next. I deserve these lessons. I deserve to know these things. The enlightenment that I have after certain things that happen. Every time something bad happens to me, I make a video about it because I learned something from it immediately because of how many times it's happened to me. If it happened to me once or twice, I'd still be that child begging for someone to believe in me, begging for someone to love me. It's like, stop begging. Stop expecting that this bad person will ever do anything good for you. Or stop waiting for something good to happen and just allow it to happen. Tell yourself that it's going to happen. Tell yourself that goodness will come from things. People have escaped negative lives, escaped from negative homes into better futures, better nows. If they can do it, you can. Take it as alignment, take it as a blessing, and take it as confirmation and signs that you'll receive a better future. Because when I started doing that, I realized that anything negative that happens, It always teaches me something good. And people always say something that I ask God for a sign for. I'm like, can you show me this? And then within an argument that's scaring me, within an argument that I'm like, oh, why is this happening? Instead of saying that, I'm like, I'm waiting for a sign. Everything is good if you perceive it as something good. Okay, that's it.